Hello everybody, my name is KingStix. In this video we're going to be looking at big changes coming up in patch 9.6, which should be dropping 12 days from now. Let's go ahead and start out with the hands down biggest change coming up in patch 9.6, which is Urgot. Right now he's struggling with roughly a 47% win rate with only a 1.3% pick rate. Pretty terrible that even Urgot mains can't keep his win rate at 50%, so it's not surprising to see these massive buffs. Urgot's base mana is being increased by 40 and the mana regen is also being increased substantially by 0.2. This will allow him to poke enemies down effectively with his Q in lane phase and will also allow him to force more all-in trades during lane phase. His passive is also receiving a healthy buff, no longer deals reduced damage to enemies hit by it in the last 5 seconds. So once Urgot all-ins you, especially if he flips you, his passive will be doing substantially more damage. Definitely going to need to watch out for that. Urgot's W will no longer be providing him a shield, but don't worry, the mana cost and the cooldown are getting a substantial buff. The mana cost is being changed from 65 at all ranks to 40 at rank 1 and 0 mana at max rank. The cooldown is being changed from 17 seconds at rank 1 and 9 seconds at rank 5, all the way down to 12 seconds at rank 1 and 0 seconds at ranked 5. That means whenever Urgot's W is max, he can use it like a mana free toggle. This will make Urgot really strong against melee based team comps, since whenever he does activate his W, he loses 125 movement speed. This won't matter though if the enemy team is mostly melee, since Urgot can primarily stay in his W form and do maximum amount of damage to as many people as possible. Urgot's E is becoming substantially more expensive in mana per rank, while at the same time the cooldown is becoming shorter in early ranks and longer in later ranks. The reason for the increased mana cost and the increased cooldown in later ranks is because they are adding a shield to Urgot's E while also buffing its base damage substantially at level 1 by 30 damage, which is huge. And finally, Urgot's R is getting some insane range bonuses, going from 1600 units all the way up to 2500 units. That is an increase of a whopping 900 units, which is a little bit longer than 2 full flashes. The damage is also being increased substantially, especially at earlier ranks. At rank 1, going from 50 damage all the way up to 125 damage. To compensate for these two sizable buffs, the cast time is being increased from 0.4 seconds up to 0.5 seconds, which in theory will allow you more time to try to juke or flash the ability. Ezreal's win rate and pick rate have both been hovering around 50% for many patches now. I believe this is the main justification for the two decently sized nerfs Riot is slapping him with. The first nerf being on his W, reducing its detonation damage on turrets by 50%. This means a lot more than you might think, since turret plating gives so much gold. This could make the difference between Ezreal getting an extra 160 gold or not getting that gold at all. The next two big changes on Ezreal are both hacking at his AP ratios. The first one on his Q, lowering it from 30% down to 20%, and on his W, the AP is being lowered from 70% at rank 1 down to 55%, and at rank 5 and 90% down to 75%. If you're playing Ezreal in a very traditional sense, this won't matter, but if you're building the double tiers to take advantage of the 2-tier items to get the massive shield and AP on the Archangel, you won't be seeing quite the same gains. Yes, it will still be viable. Yes, you'll still see it. However, the damage is getting ticked down a little bit. Something to think about next time you want to play Ezreal once this patch does drop. I do feel bad for Ezreal AD carry mains. He is a very fun champion. Unfortunately, due to his cheap and easy to build item lines and his high reliability versus most enemy team comps, I do believe these nerfs are very important, and I believe there's really no way of avoiding them. Those are just my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Perhaps they could change Ezreal's E cooldown to be very long until later ranks. That way it forces him to max it at least second, if not first, if he wants to have a reliable escape at every point during lane phase. There are 3 new champion skins coming out next patch, and they play on the theme of cats versus dogs. The first skin we are seeing is the Fizz dog skin. The second one is a pink cat York skin, and the third one is a kitty cat Rengar skin. Seems like a bit of a low-hanging fruit there, but yes, they went for it, which surprises me that they didn't also go for the Warwick as a low-hanging fruit, since you could obviously call him a dog. Now it's time to get back to the serious matter at hand. The next big change is with Caitlyn. She's already in the top 5 strongest AD carries right now, so I'm not quite sure why she's receiving this large buff. Her ultimate at every single rank is getting 50 plus damage. Once again, this doesn't seem like a lot of damage, but at rank 1, having 50 extra damage on an ability is huge. And the second big miscellaneous change is Xayah. Her W is getting a large attack speed increase, going from 30% at rank 1 to 40%, and at max rank going from 50% to 80%. That's a 30% increase, and that will definitely bring Xayah up into the ranks into possibly the top 10 strongest AD carries right now. Also keep in mind that last patch Rakan got a decent buff, so this could easily bring back the Xayah Rakan combo and make us see it a lot more frequently. The next big change is with Ghost Poro. It's previously been pretty much useless and no one really takes it. 99% of the time you're going to be taking Eyeball Collection or the Zombie Ward, not Ghost Poro. It's just too tedious to use, takes too much time, and takes you out of your pathing. Now instead, the way Ghost Poro will function is every time you lay a ward, whenever it dies, it will turn into a Ghost Poro functioning the same way. If the enemies walk into the bush, it'll disappear and it will last for a set amount of time. They started it out at 300 seconds and realized that that was way too freaking much, obviously, and then they decided to lower it down to 60 seconds, and it will still be giving you 5 to 20 adaptive force whenever it is in enemy's territory. The Teemo Changes are most likely going to be coming through this patch. They're still working on some of the stats to make sure it's not too weak or too strong, so definitely expect that. I mentioned it in the last big changes, so to give you a brief rundown, Teemo's Poison is going to become his passive, and his E is going to become a very good active invisibility that works fluidly with his kit. He's going to have more mushrooms on his ultimate, but they're going to be doing a little bit less damage. And the final big change in the upcoming patch is with Brawler's Glove. The Critical Strike is no longer going to be a unique passive, so if you build multiple of them, you'll still be able to take advantage of it. This is a really big buff for people like Yasuo or other crit champions that might go back to base with an awkward amount of gold that just want to get a little bit extra crit. Yasuo is already permaban on every region with roughly a 70% ban rate, so this change to Brawler's Glove definitely won't be helping him out any. And that is going to wrap up this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What changes are you most and least excited about? Personally, I am really excited about the Urgot changes. I'm not very excited that they didn't include Warwick in the cat versus dog skin theme. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out a lot. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.